Here we are, guys. It is Friday. How is everybody doing today? If you are on Periscope, there we go. Christina is here. If you're on Periscope and if you're on YouTube, shoot me a comment so I know that you guys are there. Tally is here. Everyone is rolling in. Hello, Christina. How is Venice? Well, somebody from Periscope just said gross hair. Hey, buddy, it's been a pandemic for 3 months. I'm sure your hair looks great as well. Right on. Well, thank you, Anti-Gravity. And so, guys, I didn't really prepare anything today. I have a few things that I wanted to talk about, and we'll get into that. And hopefully Jennifer shows up in Periscope. See how things are going? Yes, Jennifer. Hello. How are you? How are you? I'm already getting razzed over there in Periscope land, Jennifer. So you should be on the lookout. Joe Mackley, how you doing, buddy? And Saz, wow. All right, everybody's here. This is great. And I will go to Periscope and crack some skulls for you, Johnny. Well, don't worry about that, Tolly. Jennifer is on it. You're a bit echoey. I don't know what that could be. It's the same setup that I have all the time, Saz. Maybe that's on your end. I'm here. Who needs cracking? Well, perhaps they've already left, Jennifer, but keep an eye out. All right. So, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. I was going to keep this a little bit loose today because I really didn't know what to talk about. And then, of course, when I got started on all this, I could talk about many things. So let's just go do it. Yeah, let's have fun. So let's go ahead and start with pandemic stuff. Here's some new evidence and data that has come out to allow all of us to feel a little bit better about what is going on. This is what we have known all along, but I think we're finally getting more and more data to back this up. Yes, Tally, it is Happiness Week. And so 2 parts to that is that so far it seems that spreading it through countertops and surfaces is not as high as they had initially thought. In fact, grabbing your packages from Amazon and the rest of that sort of business, it's yes, it is about time we had some truth. It seems that it is a low rate of infection through surfaces. And low rate, meaning that, yeah, sure, it can happen. However, it is quite rare that it will. So if you're protecting yourself, if you're washing your hands, you picking it up through surfaces is going to be quite low. So right on, that is something to get happy about. And then also another one that we have always thought, yeah, another day in the CDC correction. Exactly. And another one that a lot of us have thought and is now getting more and more data to back it up is that being outside in an open area and to get it, to contract it is very low. So being outside, sitting at a picnic table, being in the open air is rather low. What we have all thought, if you've been looking at the data the way I've been looking at it, listen, I am not a statistician. I am not an epidemiologist. I am not a virologist. I am not any of these things. But I have thought for a very long time, and a lot of people thought that the idea of being outside, the sun, and an open environment, the infection rates were going to be extremely low, and more evidence to support all of that. And it's not to support, it supports all of that. And more places are going to be opening outside dining. There's been some talk about Hollywood and LA opening some up. I don't know. Our governor's a little bit loony, but let's just rejoice in the fact that if you're outside and that your chances of contracting it are very low, go outside, enjoy the weekend, enjoy getting your packages from Amazon. You need to be high risk environments, closed rooms where people are yelling and screaming and conversing for long periods of time. There was also, for myself, I had this conversation with AJ, being outside, service that you're cleaning regularly, and you are low risk. And it seems to be, from the data that I've been seeing, that it is closed in environments where you're exposed to the germs for a long period of time. Hence, New York City and the public transportation system, and then old age homes or old buildings where the air circulation is not that good. What do you know? Several months in, the data has backed up those earlier ideas. So let's rejoice and be happy about that. How about that, guys? Joel Mackey says, but you not to take chloroquine, right? Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. What is it with these stupid pills? Anyway, I'm not even getting into that. All right, guys. So now that we had talked about that, I also wanted to say, I apologize. Here's the common sense. Thank you, Lisa Atkins. I agree. Here's another one that I wanted to talk about. Yesterday's topic, it seems that I had hit some buttons on some of you yesterday. I had got a couple messages saying that you really enjoyed the conversation and it needed to be said and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on it. I've also got other messages saying that they didn't enjoy yesterday's show and the topic. Interesting. I guess we found a topic that was uncomfortable or at least emotionally provoking yesterday. I wanted to shed some light on the idea that young folk need to be encouraged and need support and need something to be excited about, or things get bad. But it was interesting. Thank you. And I just want to say, rather than getting into it again, I just want to thank all of you who wrote me yesterday that tell me that you either, hey, you enjoyed it or you didn't enjoy it. I will tell you this, even if you write me to tell me you didn't enjoy the show, hey, I know you watched the show and I appreciate you taking the time to letting me know that. And that's rad. Jennifer says, I'd rather be at the park than in the clinic that I went to get tested. I bet. I don't doubt. This is why I think we should move the hair salons outside so I can get a cut and we can end the end. We need to end the insanity, folks, and we need to get back to normal life. All right. So one of the topics that I had posted today that I wanted to bring up is I wanted to briefly talk about the idea of how to do anything and what you would need to do anything. Bowser says, I'm with you. Yes, you are. You're a barber. I know you want to get out there. Wouldn't that be rad? It's in the summer. You're in 75-degree weather in the sun, in a parking lot with your razor clippers, hooking people up. I mean, Bowser, how rad does that sound? Yes, outdoor hair salons. Jennifer is with me. I think all of us would be happy to do that. Think about that, Bowser. How rad. You could do drive-through service. So how to do anything. And what I mean by that, Woody Belford, nice of you to stop by. So I had a question yesterday, and it was a friend of mine who occasionally watches the show, and he mentioned that he had issues in doing a lot of video work, whether it come to an interview or doing a chat such as I'm doing with you guys here. And he's always been quite introverted, quite reserved, more of a bookworm type lad. And this sort of thing, this interacting through video, because he wants to do more work to support his creative endeavors on the internet. And he said that he had found found that doing that work was incredibly difficult. And the thing about it is what I'm doing with you guys right here, and for a lot of you who also go live a lot, it is difficult. Coming up with content every day is difficult, but I'll tell you what also is very difficult. It is just the fact that you're putting all this content out there and then people can give you a hard time about it. And it's just sitting there and it's not in any real context. You know, there is a certain energy that comes on when I go live with you guys, and I want to keep a certain bar of the energy up so that you guys are engaged and entertained. There's other people who do this type of work who are a little bit more laid back in how they go about communicating to you guys. For myself, I'm a smiley person. I'm a happy person. And when I turn the lights on and I turn the camera on, I can't help but get excited. In fact, I feel kind of like a boomer just yelling into this this contraption. We're like, Margaret, is this thing on? But sorry, I wouldn't blow anyone's ears out. But it's just how I am. And my point in all this is that it is difficult. Now, how do you rewire yourself to get yourself excited to do things that you find incredibly difficult, daunting, and challenging? And here's the thing about it. All of us have all of this information that we can constantly read. So my buddy, he said he's read books about it. He's seen how to make engaging videos, but he still finds that when he goes to do it, that it's incredibly difficult. He gets quite nervous and he doesn't like anything that he's created. Okay, well, how do we move beyond that? How do we put that together? Well, number one, as I mentioned on the show before, we have to move the goalposts back. We have to break everything off into small bits. For instance, I'm coming to you live every day for 30 minutes. Sometimes I have content. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have rough ideas about what I want to talk about. But I do this every day in order to get comfortable, in order to do it. And I know that not every day is going to be a banger of a show. In fact, I got written yesterday saying, hey, you've been better. I'm like, oh, well, thanks. But we both had a laugh in it that we know that it's an effort every day. Anyway, you want to pull back, do small bite-sized chunks, and in order to get comfortable with the technology and being on camera in the first place. Once you get comfortable being on camera, well, then it's easy to start putting together the content. So I don't know if you guys have seen any of the videos for stories that I've recently put together for the podcast. I'll be posting one for Gretchen today. And I've also put one together for Dan Heath last week. These videos are a minute long. And in the minute long, there's little components for each 15 seconds. And in order to do that on the dot, takes practice, because if you just turn on the camera and start talking into it, you'll realize that once the camera is rolling, that minute, 60 seconds is actually quite long if you're nervous. In fact, it's your anxiety starts to speed up. You've said everything you need to, but then your bullet points and the marks in the video that you were trying to hit become incredibly difficult. You can't do any of that sort of video marketing if you're not comfortable with the camera. You have to just get comfortable with it. And it's something that you have to start doing all the time. But you don't have to go live for 30 minutes a day to jump in. That would be like me saying that I want to go into the gym and start working out every day for 5 hours. You don't go from 0 to 100. Even for myself, somebody who works out regularly every weekday, sometimes on the weekends, but for an hour, my workouts started at 20-minute workouts and then moved to 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then they continued to get longer because I was enjoying the process more. So if you break things up into small bite-sized chunks, you'll learn to enjoy the process. And once you learn to enjoy the process, you begin to extending it. So as a function, you dial everything back first. Now, that's the logic end of it. Dial everything back. Once you've dialed everything back, you have to change the narrative of the way you think about it in your mind. Why? Because your brain convinces you of the story that you're going to tell yourself. This allows your emotions to engage. Once your emotions are engaged, you have a animal draw and a compelling reason to do the work that you need to do. So, in order to go live, that's not a compelling reason. What is the story that you're going to tell yourself in order to go live? Well, Tally writes it's a mental commitment. It is, yes, mentally, physically, and emotionally. You have to draw your emotions into it so you have a compelling reason. So to ask my friend, why do you want to do this? We need a bigger reason than just to go live. So my friend realized that he had been doing some podcasts and they helped a lot of people out. And he wanted to do more work with this. Well, I'm like, well, let's tie the whole reason that you're doing this to a mission that is larger than yourself. Because if you buy into the mission, then your emotions will be engaged, and now you have a reason that is larger than you in order to do something. You see, in order to make yourself do anything, you have to tie the reason to something that is larger than yourself. Why? Because the reality is most of us need a larger reason than to do things ourselves. So let me give you an example of this. For those of you who might smoke cigarettes or have smoked cigarettes or who want to work out, you know you should. You have all the reasons. You know all the benefits. You've done all the research into why you needed to be working out. So why have you not quit, or why haven't you been to the gym? Because you haven't found a reason that was worth it to you. You've been able to override that it's just a good idea or that it's been beneficial to my health. How did you override those beliefs? You've overridden those beliefs with ideas to yourself that do not outweigh the emotional pull. This is why your reasoning needs to be bigger than you. This is why you have to create a mission that you can buy into. The brain responds to these ideas. So think about the worst in human conditions in the modern era. That would be the gulag, right? A prison camp or a concentration camp in which the conditions in which these people lived were terrible for years on end, but yet all these people survived. Why were all those people able to survive such incredibly dramatic situations? Because they had the will and the beliefs of reasoning and a mission to survive that. If you have a reason, if you have a mission, if you have this belief, you can survive anything. Well, Tully, that sense of community needs to be Tully writes a sense of community. Absolutely. But what does the community have that allows the community to rise above any one person? It's a sense of mission. It's a sense of belief. You have to create that. But yet there is tons of beliefs all around us. You can pick one from the pantheon of belief structures that have been set up in human civilization from the dawn of time. And they have worked. For some civilizations, they have outgrown certain ideas, but those beliefs only became updated. If you look at Christianity, if you look at Catholicism, these are ideas that have morphed and evolved over time to fit modern day civilization. But they are belief structures that people are like, that one works for me, and they buy into it, and they live longer. They report higher happiness. They have more children. They donate more time and effort into helping others. So what is the magic ingredient? The magic ingredient there is that you buy into the idea. When you buy into the idea, it activates certain parts of your brain to give you the emotional pull to do those things. So the overriding system is to understand how belief structures work and to either buy into ones that will allow you to maximize your happiness and efforts, and or create your own. You have all the resources in the world to build symbolism and ritual and structure for your own. And for those of you who live in a more secular life, well, then it is on you to put that together for yourself. Yes, it does compel us into action, 100%. And so belief structures is powerful as they are. You have to, it would behoove you as a human being to understand how they work, how storytelling works with belief structures, because you do not have belief structures without a good story. Learning how to use those, then you will build systems for you to do anything. And that, my friends, is where happiness lies. When you have the will and the power and the beliefs to do anything, then you, my friends, are transcendent of everything that is human, and you've now become someone who is powerful and who is able to build the world if you would like to. And it's on you. So learn good storytelling. Learn how belief structures work. That is all on you, my friends. And with that, I will tell you guys to enjoy this weekend. Have fun. We now know that you can go outside really with all the data supports it. It's difficult to pick up from services. So go outside, enjoy yourself, get some sun, connect with your friends. And we're going to be through this, my friends. Let's go what we got here. All right. And guys, if you liked this stuff, be sure to pick up the Communication Accelerator. It is in the link tree. It is from all of our online programs and live training programs and all the best guests over the years. Thank you, guys, especially the LA accent. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. You are your worst critic. Well, yes, I am, Tally. And I will tell you this. We are all of our own worst critics. And you know why you're your worst critic? Because you have a tactical advantage over yourself. You know all the worst parts about yourself, and you know all the best parts about yourself. And it is upon you to be able to train yourself on what you are going to want to focus your attention towards. And it is on you to be able to focus your attention onto the positive aspects of yourself so that you can build yourself up. Do you know it is easy for us to focus ourselves on the negative? In fact, our brain is built to focus that in that way because that keeps you safe. That keeps you in your little box. However, by listening to that part of your brain, you will never be able to build belief structures that allow you to escape that box for yourself and build a life worth fighting for. And that's for you guys to do. So learn how the brain works and learn to train it on those facts. For me, Lisa says I had to switch to thinking, to speaking to a bunch of people's personalities, to envisioning talking to one person. Yes, absolutely, Lisa. And I'm still working on that as well. And buy a bigger cam if you do. I don't know what that was in response to. Almost a full house. Yes, we did have a lot of people. And I want to say this. If you guys follow me on YouTube, click like, share, and subscribe. You know, you guys, if you enjoy these videos, you can share them with your friends. The links are in the YouTube. Everything has been archived. And I want to say, we are slowly growing in number. And it has been amazing. I'm seeing new names every day. And so thank you, guys. Yes, sense of community. Crystal clear mission. Yes, Lisa, a mission makes it bigger than yourself. And a mission has the ability for you to tie a really good story to it. All right. Jaron, it is done. Oh, Jaron just caught us late today. No problem, buddy. Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. Guys, this has been a great week. This was Happiness Week, and we have some happy news. It's difficult to catch through the air. It's difficult to catch from surfaces. So get up with your friends. Try to find a park somewhere where you can hang out and you can have a nice bottle of wine and hang out and catch up and find the sense of community that we have all lost over the last few months. That's what I'm going to do. So if you guys want to hang out, find a nice place to be able to do that. All right, Joel, are you going to join me over in the network? We're heading over there now. Thank you, Tally, and I will see you guys. I will see you all Monday. If you have questions, if you have topics that you guys want me to talk about, DM me, please. I'd be happy to. Always looking for content. If you have an article you want my thoughts on, send it to me. Let's talk. This shows as much as your guys' show as it is for me. So see you guys. Have a great weekend.